Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Divine Cupid podcast. If you're new, I'm your host, Indy Watson, and if you're not new, welcome back. So guys, welcome back to another podcast episode. Let me give you guys a brief little quick life update. One, I got my lashes done, super cute. And two, I drove to my lash appointment, which was super exciting. This was my first legitimate long distance on the freeway. For those of you who don't know, I have a chronic fear of the freeway. I'm scared to drive on the freeway. When I was a child, I used to have this recurring dream that I would just run off the end of the freeway and disappear. And that dream, I would have that dream when I was 4 to 6. No, I would say 4 to 7. And it would always it was the same dream, same character, same everything, and it terrified me. So I'm petrified of the freeway. I just feel like there were so many what if you fall off the ramp? What if you get hit off the ramp? Or, what if you, lose control and, fly off the ramp? Just things like that it was, it's always scared me. But it wasn't that bad. It was actually a lot easier than driving on the roads. I don't have people honking at me and, telling me to go when the light is red. But overall, really good experience. I wanted to talk about, oh, God, oh, Lord. I really, I have been going, through it. Going through the ringer. I feel I give people a lot of benefit of the doubt. I always try to rationalize everybody's behaviors and the reason that they do things and why they do things and why people are the way that they are. And my issue when I meet people is I want to understand them. I want to understand every single thing that goes on with them. I want to understand the contents of the characters. I want to know why you broke your leg and when you were 5, or I want to know I want to know, I just am a person who is very, intertwined and, deepened in my emotions. And, I think when you are someone who hasn't necessarily, been in a relationship and hasn't experienced that exclusivity of a relationship, it really kind of, I know a lot of people feel discouraged by being a certain age and not finding love necessarily or being exclusively in a relationship. And I know I always try to talk about other things outside of relationship and relationship topics on my podcast, but I know sometimes it's very common to battle the thought and the concept that love will always pass you or you will not find love or something in those parameters. I was telling a friend, we were on the phone and we were yapping, and I was telling them things that I just don't like and why I don't settle for certain things in relationships, because those certain things become bigger things, and it's a problem that I could have avoided in the beginning stages if I just stood on my boundaries, if I don't let my boundaries slide. And they were telling me if you just knocked that one thing, you would have been in a relationship by now. And I don't see it as why should I personally do not want to minimize what I stand for and what my negotiables and non-negotiables are just for the sake of a relationship. But when I told them, because I was yeah, I've never had a boyfriend, and they were you've never been in a relationship? And I was nope. And they laughed at me. I was girl, is something funny? Let me know what's funny. I think it's really easy to feel discouraged by that. Let me just be honest. I feel for me to give love is a very rare and challenging thing, especially in today's society where it's a game of cat and mouse. It's if I do this, you might pull away or you might pull closer. If I give you too much, you might leave me, or if I give you less, you might love bomb me. It's so confusing to date in today's time, and I feel I've tried to avoid that because I don't want to get hurt again. And my last experience of actually taking someone serious, I was literally 16. I'm about to be 19. I have not I have tried to be more intentional about who it is I spend my energy with, but I have not been emotionally available to give myself to anybody in those ways and in those atmospheres. And I think when you feel the feeling of being able to do that again, it feels so foreign and it feels so pure and genuine. The way people can express love is truly such a beautiful thing. To even be able to give love to your friends, to a significant other, a partner, to be able to give love is such a raw and genuine feeling. I have been in the constant battle of thought of if I would ever feel love or give love, like I can do that, but I've learned that only way to truly feel sanctioned and tied in with love and like you can give love is if you are giving love to yourself and if you love yourself. I feel like so many people emphasize like what it means to love themselves and like loving yourself being like, you know, being self-assured and being self-confident and like feeling all of these ways and emotions and feelings towards yourself. But literally, if you cannot give love towards yourself, you cannot expect to ever give love or get love from anyone else, because you will struggle to understand what love really is and the concept of love. If you cannot give that love to yourself, like if sitting alone by yourself and like listening to music causes you to pick apart every single thing about yourself, I feel like when you get in the same dark room and listen to music, you're going to start picking apart things you don't like about your partner. The way you treat yourself impacts how you treat other people. I think I will always be someone who is okay with space. I hate space. I hate the concept of people wanting space and needing space from certain things, but I understand. Me being a person who constantly has always detached from things like my entire life. If the second I feel overwhelmed, I'm building up walls and I'm not breaking them down until I'm mentally in the place that I need to be. I will deactivate all my accounts like back to back to back if I feel like my brain is scattered and I can't keep up with it. I will stop talking to people, not because I want to stop talking to them, but because like when you feel bad about yourself, or when you feel bad mentally, or when you feel bad emotionally, if you don't figure that out and if you don't battle out those emotions, you are going to inflict others with the same level of misery and negativity that wallows over your head, when on wallow over your relationships, when on wallow over your friendships, when on wallow over the people that you love and care about the most. It's so hard to feel like you have to be 110% even when you're not. Fully grasp that concept and fully understanding. I fully understand in that the whole emphasis on self-love and love in general and what it means to feel love and give love all circles back to the love that we can feel and give ourselves, and the way we respect our boundaries, our time, our limits, the things that affect us and make us feel. I think the more in understanding we are with ourselves, the more in cohorts we will be with things that, you know, you don't have to like nitpick apart from when you want a partner. I don't know if anything I'm saying is making sense, but working on myself, like being in situations where like I'm deeply hurt and deeply affected by things, I used to want to like constantly like overexert myself. That to me is a lack of self-love, just the overexerting of yourself, because I feel like if you could respect your own boundaries, like say like you were in a position where you were the one hurt by something and you just wanted to, you know, work through that and mend through that, and you have another person not really respecting your boundaries, they wouldn't even be able to respect their own boundaries. I just think people who feel deflated trying to explain this, like I really do, because in my brain it makes so much sense, but I wonder like if it's making sense of the way that I'm articulating it. But what I'm trying to really say is the way that you are in interaction with yourself will influence the way you interact with other people. The way we desire love and desire specific things from a specific partner, I feel we will only fully attain when we also mend and grow ourselves in the same way, to where we meet in the middle with those expectancies that we have for other people. I don't know. I've battled the thought a lot just with the cat and mouse game of our society and our generation, and knowing that like it is possible for one day someone to flick a switch that like changes things. I know we live in a society that is very like hookup based populated. We live in a society that cheating is very normalized and okay. We live in a society where having a roster is something that is supposed to bring us peace. Like we live in a society where essentially more gives us a better quality of life and a better quality of satisfaction with the things that, you know, we have. Like the more money we have, the happier we'll be. The more the more attention we can bring to ourselves, the more like confident we will be, the more we pull. That, I don't know, satisfies a little guilty pleasure in the back of our mind, affirming to us our own attractiveness and lack of, or whatever scale you want to put that on. But we live in a society where the more you have, the more your life improves and the better it is. I don't think there aren't too many people who value the little things and just the notions of the genuine interactions of building and being and growing and understanding and what loving is. I know it's very hard to feel comforted in love in a society that feels so loveless, and a society that is full of cheating and lying and all of these things. And I know, like, it's very easy to think like maybe in my life I'm better off without love, or without experiencing or giving that love. Like, maybe relationships just are not for me. I never ever think that is the case. The genuine emotions you feel when you interact with people and you meet them in the middle of wherever they're at, and the feelings you feel are so pure, and it's so beautiful to give love and feel love. And I want society to stop feeling discouraged, and I want women to stop feeling discouraged and men to stop feeling discouraged over the concept of love and not being able to feel that and give that. I want everybody to feel centered in giving that to themselves, because not everybody is going to understand how to give that to you, because we don't know how to do that ourselves, which is why we think the more we have, the more satisfied we will be in life, when that is not the case literally at all. The more self-assured we are, definitely, the more we're confident in ourselves, most definitely, the more that we genuinely love ourselves, respect ourselves, and put our boundaries first, and understand that you don't always have to like rationalize and benefit of the doubt everybody. Like, literally just center yourself on you and that love towards you, and I don't know, everything will fall into place when it is meant to fall into place. You don't have to chase after anything, and you don't have to beg anything to see you and cater to you and love you and care for you and appreciate you and to make you feel like it happened. And like, sorry, I know my phone is pinging. It's driving me crazy too. But it happened, and like, just in the meantime, like, give that to yourself, because that's all you can do is just cater and love to yourself, because you will find what is meant to come to you. No, you won't even have to find it. It will find you. It will come to you. You do not have to work and exert yourself and drive yourself crazy and cry yourself to sleep and lose your mind over things that just are not within your control. Spend all of that time and space and energy into yourself. And on that note, I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.